Hello children, welcome to digital classes. So children, in today's class we are going to learn about a very important concept. So before going into the lesson, let us first see a small video. Try to understand her. So children, did you understand what the person said? Why couldn't you understand? What was missing there? Yes, you could not understand because you could not hear what the person was saying. Exactly, her sound was missing. Shall we see it again?
Human beings use these sounds more effectively. Sounds produced by human beings. We know that all animals produce sound to communicate with other animals. Human beings use these sounds more effectively. Sounds produced in particular order and manner constitutes our speech. This order in production of sound is different for different languages or communication process.
Did you understand now, children? Yes, because you could hear the person clearly now. So children, what do we understand here? For communication, sound is an effective tool. In order to communicate with each other, we should have the ability to hear and sound has to be produced. Human beings, animals and birds all communicate with the help of sound. Children, we know that sound is an integral part of our life. Isn't it, children? Can we imagine ourselves or our life without listening to any kind of sound? Even in the dead silence of the night, there is some or the other sound going on. Yes, children, you can hear to the night crickets called as a kichuralu in Telugu. You can hear the dogs barking far away. Yes, children, some or the other sound is continuously in our life, though we overlook it. Yes, children. Now, children, let us see what we are going to learn in today's session. First of all, we will be trying to understand how is sound produced. Then, we will see that sound possesses energy. Then, we will see why different musical instruments produce different types of sounds. We will see the structure of larynx or the voice box that is present in the human beings, which helps to produce the sound or speech. Then we will look into the propagation of sound in different media. What are the different media, children? Yes, solids, liquids and gases are the different media that we are going to talk about. So children, now let us see or listen to an audio clip. Listen carefully, children. Are you able to identify them, children? Very familiar sounds, isn't it? You usually listen to this sound in the night. What is that? We have been suffering with it since last 1 month, isn't it? Now children, tell me, what were the different sounds that you heard here? The last sound was there, the rain and thunder. Okay? Very familiar sounds. The night cricket or kichuralu. Birds chirping. Early in the morning, you wake up to this very sweet sounds of birds making these chirping sounds. Then the feeble barking of dogs. Far away they are barking. The pressure cooker. Every household sound. And then the conch. Conch is nothing but the shank, children. This is usually blown in the temples, or some people even have it at their homes. And then our favorite school bell. Okay, children? So these were the different sounds that you heard here. How did you identify them, children? You didn't see any video. You didn't see any images of them. Yes, you identified them because you have been living with them. All these are very, very familiar to us since our childhood. Okay, children? So basically, we have identified these sounds because they are familiar to us. We use this in our puja room. We know it makes a jingling sound. Yes, children? Now, have you ever tried to touch it when it is vibrating? When it is making the sound? And try to make sound in this manner. What difference are you noticing, children? Yes, the difference is in the type of sound produced. Okay, children? When you tried to touch it gently while jingling, you could have felt a small vibration in your hands. Yes, children? You could have felt a small vibration in your hands. You can try this in the school bell or tap a metal plate with a spoon and touch it. You can feel the vibration. And what happened when you held it in this manner? What happened to the sound? Yes, children? The vibrations are being absorbed by your hands. Right, children? Now, let us look at another small activity. We need a cardboard box or a matchbox. Fix a rubber band in this manner. Okay, children? Fix a rubber band to the cardboard box in this manner. Now, pluck the rubber band. Can you hear it, children? Can you hear the sound? These are simple things that you can do at your home also. Observe the rubber band, children. You can as well see the vibrations here. Not only hearing, but also you can see the vibrations here. Now, let us see some more activities to understand sound in a better manner. We need a plate, a spoon. Fill the plate with water. The water has to be still. It should not be moving initially. Now, the girl is going to tap the plate with the spoon. Yes. See the movement in the water, children. You can hear the sound also. Once again. See, children. Look at the vibrations in the water being produced as the sound is increasing. Now she is going to beat it harder. Yes. Now you can see the vibrations very, very clearly. And you are also able to hear the sound. Okay, children? Now let us look at another activity. For this we need a heavy object and a metal scale. Keep it in this manner and try to vibrate the scale. Are you able to see the vibrations, children? Once again. Yes, the scale is vibrating and at the same time producing sound. Isn't it, children? Noticing how different sounds are being produced, children? Yes. So, children, we are continuously saying vibrating and sound. Yes. That means we can conclude that vibrations are responsible for producing sound. Vibrating bodies produce sound. We have seen in the example of the bell and the matchbox with rubber band. We could see the vibrations in the rubber band. We could feel the vibrations in the bell. And similarly, we could see the vibrations in the water and we could see the vibrations in the metal scale. All these gave rise to sound. Hence, we conclude that vibrating bodies produce sound. Is it clear, children? Now, children, the next thing we are going to discuss is sound has energy. Why should it have energy? Because any object that is moving should possess energy. Yes, children, vibration is also a kind of motion. Okay. Now, let us see what we have to do here. We take a glass jar, keep a mobile phone ringing or playing a full volume song, a nice beat song, put it inside the jar cover the jar with a balloon in this manner and put some sugar crystals or mustard seeds on the top of the balloon. Now let us see what happens to this. Enjoy the song and the dance of the sugar crystals. Observe the dance of the sugar crystals, children. Why are they dancing? Yes, it is because of the sound being produced from inside. The vibration because of the sound is making the sugar crystals to dance. So what did we understand here, children? We understood that vibrations produce sound, and in turn this sound has energy which is given to the sugar crystals, and in turn the sugar crystals started dancing or the sugar crystals started vibrating. Okay, children? So in this way we can say that sound possesses energy or sound has energy. Let me ask you, how much do you love music? What are the other musical instruments do you know? We come across many musical instruments in our day-to-day life. Yes, children, we might have seen many musical instruments. When you go to a marriage ceremony, you must have seen the band being played there. It is not just one drum or one shehnai being played. It is a combination. We know an orchestra consists of a number of musical instruments. Now, children, let us try to listen to a small audio clip and identify their sources. Identifying the song, children? Yes, our national song. Our favorite band, I guess. So children, now let us see what are the instruments that were played here. We first heard the happy birthday song on the piano, and then a soothing music of the flute. Then we heard Vande Mataram on veena. Then it was tabla, and then we heard our favorite teen maar on dappu. Yes, children, could you all identify these sounds on your own? Yes, very easily you must have. Without knowing the source, you could have easily identified them, children. Now, children, the question arises, how did you identify them? And why do they produce different sounds? Why do these musical instruments produce different sounds? Children, every instrument has a different vibrating part. Yes, children, every instrument has a different vibrating part. For example, you have seen the ringing of the bell. The vibrating part is the metal there, and in the matchbox and rubber band, the rubber band is the vibrating part. Similarly, each and every musical instrument has its own vibrating part, and therefore they produce different kind of sounds. In some musical instruments, there are more than one vibrating parts, and in some instruments, the entire body of the instrument is vibrating. For instruments like the flute or shehnai, the object or the instrument is not vibrating, but the air inside vibrates and produces a beautiful music. So children, in this table, let us see what are the vibrating parts of the musical instruments that we have seen. For a piano, we have internal strings. Okay children, the keys that you press are connected to strings inside which get vibrated. For a flute, it is the air inside the flute that is getting vibrated. Veena, the strings and the surrounding air. Yes children, when you pluck the string of a veena, it is not just the string, but other strings also vibrate and the surrounding air also vibrates. On the tabla, the membrane and the inside air also vibrate. For the dappu, usually the entire body vibrates along with the membrane and the air inside the dappu. Okay children, now we have seen all these musical instruments. Can we create a music on our own? Yes, why not? It is very easy, you know. Sitting at home with all the simple things we have at home, we can create a small and gentle music. Now, let us see a small activity to create our own music. So children, we need 4 to 5 glasses here, and in this we have filled water at different levels. So I have already filled water at different levels here. In this glass, water is at the highest level and gradually decreasing, and the last glass has the lowest level of water. Now, let us tap these gently. Listen to the sounds carefully children. I am applying the same force. Isn't it very nice to our ears children? Yes, you can also do it at your home and observe which glass is producing more sound or louder sound. Yes, it is the last glass with lowest level of water that is producing the highest sound than the first glass which has more amount of water. Okay children? Children, the reason here is that the air column present inside, inside the glasses is different in different glasses. Isn't it children? If you have more water in the glass, it means the air column is less. If you have less water in the glass, it means there is more air column. This length of air column is responsible for the production of sound. Therefore, the higher the length of air column, the more louder and the more beautiful the sound is. So, let us see the conclusion from this activity children. We heard different sounds due to the difference in the level of water. It is due to the different values of air column in the bowls. Okay children? In this, we have used different levels of water and hence the different values of air column produce different variations of sound. So children, we can conclude also that sounds are produced by vibrating bodies and the air that passes through the orifices. Orifices are holes of the instrument. So you see instruments like flutes, shehnai have holes. Okay. So air that passes through the holes and air that is blown into the holes, because of this music is produced, and music is produced by vibrating bodies. Now children, we are talking every day. Yes children, without speech communication would be so different. Yes children, we can't imagine our communication would be so easier if we could not speak clearly. So children, in this section we are going to see how the sound is produced by human beings and which part of our body is helping us to speak. So children, let us look at this image. We know this is the windpipe. Yes children, this is the windpipe in our neck. On the anterior part of the neck, anterior part is the inside front part children. On the inside front part, we have a part called as the larynx. This is also called as the voice box or the glottis. Okay children, larynx is present in the anterior part inside the neck. This larynx has two muscular ligaments called as the vocal cords. These are very important for speech children, the vocal cords. These vocal cords are spread on the on this entrance. They are spread on the larynx. Okay, children? Now let us see what is the function of these vocal cords. Vocal cords are open when we are breathing. Okay, children? This is an open vocal cord. When we are breathing, the windpipe has to be open to allow air in and out. So, when we are breathing, the vocal cords are open. And when we speak, surprisingly, the vocal cords are closed. So, how is it that sound is produced? The lungs are pushing air through the closed vocal cords. Okay, children? The lungs are pushing air, pressing air through the closed vocal cords, and these vocal cords vibrate accordingly to the amount of volume we need. These vocal cords are vibrating and different sounds are produced. Okay, children? So, this is the function of the vocal cords. Having understood the production of sound in different objects, musical instruments, as well as in human beings, let us now go to the next section, the propagation of sound. That is, how is sound traveling? Propagation means how is sound traveling? Of course, sound has to travel, children. Sitting in one place, we are able to hear different kinds of sounds. Yes or no? So, how is it that sound is traveling to us from its source? The first most important thing is sound needs a medium to propagate. As I told you in the beginning, medium is either a solid, liquid or a gas. Sound needs a medium to propagate. A medium can be a solid, liquid or a gas. We can listen to sounds all around us. Yes, children? Suppose you are sitting in your classroom, playing in the ground in your school, or you are on the terrace. Wherever you are able to hear your school bell. Yes or no? In whatever part of the house you are sitting, whenever your mom calls you, you come running to her. Yes, children. What is carrying the sound here? Exactly, air. Air is a medium that is carrying sound to our ears from the source of the sound. So, since we are able to listen sounds all around us, sound can travel through air. Okay, children? We conclude that sound can travel through air. What is air, children? Yes, air is a mixture of gases. That means sound can travel through gases. So, we have concluded with one type of media here, that sound can propagate through gases. Let us see, children, if sound can propagate in solids or not. Children, try to do this simple activity with your friend. Take your friend, ask him or her to lean on the table. On the other end, you gently tap with a pencil. Ask your friend what she can hear. Yes, even a small sound appears to be very big to her. Now, ask her to raise a little from the table, and what is the difference? There will be a difference in the sound. So, in this activity, children, we are saying that sound is propagating through solids. This is another small activity. Take a metal rod or a metal scale, put one end to your ear and ask your friend to scratch a little on the other end. Are you able to listen to the sound, children? Yes, of course you can listen to it. Yes, children? So, in the previous case it was a wood, now it is a metal scale. Childhood, or you can do it now. Take 2 paper cups in this manner and tie a string in this way. Okay? So, this acts as a paper cup telephone. One end you can speak and the other end your friend can hear. Okay, children? You can try various ways for this. You can change the type of the thread you are using. You can change its thickness and observe. You can hold it in between and observe. Okay, children? So, this is a string that we used here. So, we have seen from these activities that sound can propagate in solids of all types like metal, wood and threads also. What about liquids, children? We have completed with gases and solids. Now, let us look at liquids. Can sound propagate through liquids also? Children, try to perform this small activity. Take a bucket of water and take a bell in your hand. Try to create a sound in the bell inside water. The bell is inside water and gently put your ear on the surface of water. Please don't immerse in water as the water may enter your ears, which is not good. What do you conclude from this? In this, you can say that the sound is being heard in water also, which means that sound can propagate in liquids also. Hence, with these activities, we conclude that sound can propagate in solids, liquids and gases as well. Okay children, we have come to the end of our session. Before closing, let us see the important points that we have learned today. Sound is an effective part of communication. Sound is produced by vibration. Vibrating bodies produce sound, and sound can cause vibration also, that we have seen in the activity. Sound has energy. Sound possesses energy. Then, larynx or voice box is an important part for speech in human beings. It contains two muscular ligaments called the vocal cords. And then we have seen that sound needs a medium to propagate. So these are the important points, children, that we have seen. Now let us see some questions that you may need to answer. Very simple question, children. How is sound produced? How can you explain sound has energy? Yes, you have to learn the activity. Discuss about the vocal cords in human beings. You have to write their importance and how they work. Write any three musical instruments that you know and mention their vibrating parts. Next question. Can sound propagate through vacuum? Children, in today's activities, we have seen that sound needs a medium to propagate, and these medium we have proved solids, liquids and gases. In all these three mediums, sound has propagated. What about vacuum? What is vacuum, children? Yes, vacuum is empty space. You just tell me, can sound propagate through vacuum? Guess the consequences if sound could travel in vacuum. Obviously, you got the answer for the previous question here. What would happen if we could hear sound in vacuum also? You have to guess the consequences. Next, children, in the paper cup activity, you have to change the material and thickness of the thread and observe the changes in the sound. Try this activity, children. This is a very fun activity with your friends or your siblings. So, children, I hope you all have understood today's class and happy learning.